For Chasm Radio in central Minnesota, #1 farm radio in mid-Minnesota here at World Dairy Expo, and it's the #1 spot to be, celebrating 50 years. And our farm feature today, talking robotic milking and with Lely. And Rick, thanks for joining us. And when it comes to robotic milking, you guys have it all put in line here, don't you?
Well, we'd like to think we do, but we still have a lot to learn. It seems like every year we come up with some new technology, some new things that sort of enhance the performance of the robots or make it a little bit more economically feasible. But each and every year we try to put forth a good effort to do what we can to make it easier for the producer.
When it comes to robotics, I think it always was, for a moment there, it was just a select few, but now it's common for many people in dairy.
Yeah, very true, Joe. Really what happened, I think this year they're celebrating the 50th year here at World Dairy Expo for the how long it's been in its existence. With the robots, we're actually at Lely, we're over 25 years, so we don't have 50 years, but we got a good number of years. Now, out of those 25 years, I think the first robot that was probably installed in the States was in 2000 or 2002, so that's almost getting close to 15 years from now. So you think the technology is new, and it's relatively new, but we've learned so much throughout the course of the years. So yeah, the technology today used to be putting in 10, 20, 30 robots a year. Now it's hundreds of robots a year, so it's come a long ways.
Rick, you guys had a lot of informational sessions here at Expo, and today taking part in the one you were presenting. Some common themes. One that really stood out was the term space. Space is vital when it comes to your setup.
Yeah, we do that. At Lely, we're firm believers in what we call free flow. So that's, when you think about it with cows, they can do basically three things every day. So they can lay down, they can eat, and they can get milk. So when you think of it in that way with the cows, is that our job is to make sure, okay, what can we do to make sure that it's cow friendly as well as people friendly? And I think the first thing we got to concentrate on is feed. There's one reason the cows goes into the robot, and that's to chase that energy, to chase that candy, and that's why she goes into the robot. And the second most important thing that we look at is the space out front of the robot. So when you're looking at the barn layouts, like what we were discussing earlier, when you look at any of the configurations, any of the barn layouts, the common denominator that any of them have is the space in front of the robot, so a cow enjoys going to and from work.
Rick, we talk about a few other things. We have some time here. I know you talked about 5 different designs. I think a lot of people say robotic milker, there's a one-size-fit-all. Not necessarily, and you guys have different options to fit different layouts and different needs for farmers.
Yeah, there's several different ways of looking at that. The most important thing is, why do people get involved with the technology? And what's pretty common is when we talk to people that have maybe 60 or 120 cows, the big reason why they generally get involved with the robotic technology is because of the freedom and the flexibility of their lifestyle. They can go to church more often, they can go to school events, they can do things that they probably normally couldn't do because of their demand to milk either in the morning and or at night. So the robot technology gives those people a tremendous amount more freedom and flexibility. Now you go into like 240 cows or 300 cows. Those guys, generally it's a family type of a farm. There's a lot of workers, but those guys work hard. And maybe they don't milk every shift, but some of the owners might milk some of the shifts. Plus they have 3 or 4 hired men floating around, they do things. Well, what the robot technology does for them, it provides them a little bit more of an opportunity on freedom and flexibility of their lifestyle. But now you start seeing the economics start kicking in, because now they can, if they put in the robotic technology, now what it does, it helps them to maybe eliminate 1 or 2 labor that they wasn't really crazy about in the past. And then when you take it to the next level, which would be your 500 cows or more, the large herd kind of people, those guys, generally speak, they get into the technology because of profit. And if it doesn't make sense to them in a profitable way, then why would they even consider the technology? So when we look at that, we start at the top of the balance sheet or the P&L statement. So their number 1 cost is going to be feed, number 2 is going to be replacement cost, and number 3 is going to be labor. So what we try to do is go into that and have a positive effect on trying to decrease the cost per hundredweight on those 3 line items. So you get different buying habits for all 3 of those different sectors. So now when you go into the robot world and you start laying the barns out and deciding what layout is best, Well, the fact of the matter is there probably isn't what is best for me might not be best for you. So everybody's got their own little things that they like. And that's one of the neat things with the free flow. When the cow lays down, she eats and she milks. She gets milked when she wants to. In that free flow world, you can get pretty creative on some of the layouts that you have, as long as you have feed right and as long as you have space in front of the robot. Those would be the two most important things. And you can probably get by with a lot. But if you didn't have one of those two things, then it could hurt you.
Rick, we do encourage people to come to World Dairy Expo. If they can't make it here, what is maybe the best way to get more information or contact you guys?
Oh, easy. You just go to Lely.com, go to our website. I think on there we have a locator list, so no matter where you live in the United States or in the Midwest, there's a Lely Center near you. And that's one of the neat things. We got serious about the technology with Lely about a little over 10 years ago now, and we're proud to say that in the Midwest, if there's any producer that lives anywhere in the Midwest right now, we have certified Lely centers that have certified technicians that can work on the robots, install the robots, and take care of the robots. And 4 years ago, we couldn't say that. So we're sort of proud of the fact that no matter where you live now in the Midwest, milking cows, we got somebody that can take care of you.
Our farm feature on Chasm Radio, Rick Rugg with Lely joining us. Rick, we appreciate your time.
Thank you much, Joe. Appreciate it.
For Chasm Radio from World Dairy Expo, here on Chasm Radio, 1150 on your AM radio dial.